Welcome to our daily Forex market analysis, and this is for trading on September the 12th, 2019. Just a quick disclaimer here, this is for educational purposes only. Trading is a risky business, so please be careful with your money. As usual, we'll start off by taking a look at our calendar here. So not a ton of data here, except for the main thing here was our crude oil inventories here. So there was a bigger drawdown than expected. So that's positive for Canadian dollar. And then we have positive data out of the US. Now, one thing that we did see come out here was that the US has actually agreed to delay the tariffs from October 1st to October 15th. So it looks like US and China are moving forward with those trade negotiations, and that is positive for the markets. And as a result of that, we saw all our yen crosses move up. So that's what we have. Let's take a look at what's coming up tomorrow. So tomorrow we have some major events here, two key events actually. First one is our ECB. So we have monetary policy statement as well as the refinancing rate here. ECB is already at 0%, so not really expecting a change there. But the monetary policy statement here will be important, as well as the press conference. So the market has been expecting ECB to take monetary policy action. So basically increase the stimulus that they're providing to the market or have more of a loose monetary policy. So the problem here is that the market is probably expecting too much from ECB, and ECB may not be ready to do as much. So we saw that the euro dropped today in anticipation of that event. But as we get closer to the ECB, or when the ECB announcement comes, we may actually not see the same sort of, we may not see the expectations met. So if the market is expecting too much and those expectations are not met by ECB, we could see euro go up as a result, even if their commentary is dovish. If it's not as dovish as what the market is expecting, or their the stimulus that they're providing is not as big as what the market is expecting, we could see euro move in the opposite direction. Now, if for some reason ECB does provide big enough stimulus, or they do take their actions are in line with market expectations, then we are likely to see euro go up. But chances are it could go up after the ECB or on ECB monetary policy statement. So keep that in mind. And then later we have our CPI numbers and core CPI numbers out of US here. And this is an important number. So central banks usually want the numbers to be going up slowly and steadily. US has not been able to keep the numbers up. So if we see that the numbers come below expectations here, we're likely to see the US dollar drop. Other than that, we have some other data which is not as important here. We could get a reaction to the federal budget, especially if it's more of a deficit than what's expected here. We could see US dollar drop on that. But that's all we have for tomorrow. Actually, one other thing here, we do have OPEC meetings here. Now, a lot of times when we have these meetings, we see comments come out of these meetings. Usually there'll be journalists asking for opinion. And if these comments can move the market, or they can actually, I should say, move the price of oil. So keep that in mind, because if the oil price moves, then we are likely to see a reaction in Canadian dollar as well. All right, so let's go on to our charts now. As usual, we'll start out by taking a look at euro dollar here. So we've been talking about euro dropping here for a little while here now. So we did see that drop today. And now we do have a bearish candle close. So here for euro, we could see a pullback into 1.1020. So keep that in mind. And then looking for price to move back down here into 1.0970. And now, as we get into ECB, this one could go in either direction. So I'd be open to that. But for now, I'm looking for price to drop a bit ahead of ECB. And then once the ECB announcement comes out, like I said, it could move in either direction. So we'll have to be careful because it could shoot up here as well, or it could go lower, depending on what they say. But chances are, if the expectations are not met, we are likely to see prices go up. So for now, bias is bearish. First target is 1.0970, and then we could see it go into 1.0920. So bias here is bearish for euro dollar. Pound dollar here, this is looking bearish. Our target here is 1.2280, back into this level here towards the support level of 1.2280. So that's the first target. Second target, 1.2220. So bias here is bearish for pound dollar as well. Aussie dollar here. Aussie, we have another indecision candle. Price has moved in both directions here. And when we saw this announcement come out in regards to China or US giving concessions to China and pushing back those tariffs from October 1st to the 15th, we saw Aussie move up. So we could see that retrace back, though there was a bit of a knee-jerk reaction to that. So I would look for price to actually come back down here. I think it was just the knee-jerk reaction that could retrace. So that's one thing. But overall, its bias is neutral. And if price does not go hold above 0.8880, we could see price drop as a result. So for now here, the bias is neutral to bearish. I would not look at this being too positive, except unless we see the data that comes out tomorrow. If the data that comes out tomorrow for US is negative, that could actually make it go in the opposite direction, and that could make it go higher. But for now, I am looking for that inefficient move push to the upside to get filled. So first target here is 0.6850. Second target is 0.6820. So bias here is bearish for Aussie dollar. New Zealand dollar here, this one is bearish as well for the last 3 days. We see that price has been making lower highs. It hasn't been a big move to the downside yet, but here basically I'm looking for price to drop. So bias is bearish here. First target is 0.6400. Second target is 0.6360. With all the US dollar crosses, we just have to keep the our CPI data that we are getting for US in view, because that could change things. But otherwise, bias is to the downside here for New Zealand dollar. Dollar CAD here, we have seen price go up, but price is into resistance right now. So if price does not hold, so as we can see here, if price holds below 1.3200, I would look for price to come back down towards the support level here and come back into the range, potentially towards 1.3140, into the bottom of the range here. So for now, my bias is neutral on this because it hasn't broken out of the range yet. Price is still going sideways here, and that's what we have. So I'm looking for price to be sideways. Bias is neutral for dollar CAD, and looking for it to come towards 1.3140. Now, should it hold above 1.3180, then this one could go higher. So watch out for this move here. That could happen. This could just be a pullback into 1.3180. and then a further move to the upside. So for now, bias is neutral for dollar CAD. All right, let's take a look at some commodities here. First, we'll start off with our silver. Silver has been going sideways here between these two levels. So right now, it's still neutral. It's holding neutral here. But what we see here is that price dropped, pulled back, and if it holds below this level at 18.75, it could drop further here. So keep that in mind. So for now, bias is neutral. So if for some reason it goes through this 18.25 level, only then would I look for a further move to the upside. But for now, bias is neutral, and I will look for a move towards the bottom because it rejected the high. So I'm looking for a move towards 17.80 for silver here. Gold is going sideways here as well, but overall bias is bearish here. And with this one, we had a nice drop, pull back, and this one could drop further here. So overall bias here still remains to the downside. Target is 1480 and then 1470 for gold. Oil here, a big drop in oil today. So bias here is to the downside. I would look for a bit of a pullback towards 56.50 and then a further move down here. 54.80 is the first target and then 53.80 is the second target. So bias is bearish here for oil. So this is the move I'm looking for, bearish bias for oil. Copper here, copper is going sideways. So initially we had this big move to the upside, and now it seems like it's just pulling back. And we're getting a lot of neutral candles here. So my bias is neutral for this one. So it's just going sideways in this range for now. It is range bound. So right now it's heading towards the high, but if it holds below this 2.60 level, it's likely to drop back towards 2.55 level here. So bias is neutral for copper right now. Bitcoin is also neutral. We did have this move to the downside, and today's candle closes neutral. So this one, if it stays below 10,250, then chances are it's going to drop further. So that's the type of move I'm looking for here. Next target here would be 96.70 level. So neutral bias for today, but as long as it stays below 10,250, we could see a drop. S&P 500 is looking bullish. We had a nice up day in the market here. So that's bullish, and now we are seeing that continuation from there. So bullish bias for S&P 500, I will look for it to retest the high at 3020, so 3020. So bullish bias here for S&P 500. NASDAQ here looking quite bullish as well. We have a bullish candle close here, so looking for price to go higher. And our target here is 8,000. Second target is 8,020. So bullish bias here for NASDAQ as well. DAX here looking quite bullish. Next target is 12,500 or 450, and then 12,500. So bullish bias for DAX as well. This one, FTSE, is also looking bullish here. Next target is 7380. So the equity markets are looking bullish. Looks like there's optimism in the markets right now. They're expecting, one is US-China, they're talking, which is positive for the equity markets. And also we have the Fed announcement next week. So overall market is looking for Fed to take action. But then we also have the US-China optimism. So overall bias is bullish here. So 7380 and then 7450 as the second target here. Last but not least, Nikkei, we have nice bullish candle close here. bias is bullish. Now we're coming right into our resistance though, so watch out for that. 21,800 is the target here. So if it does not go through this resistance, because we have seen price react here a number of times, if it doesn't go through, we are likely to see a drop here. But today's candle close was quite bullish, but we have seen that reaction now. So I would watch out at 21,800. If it doesn't go through, we're likely to see a drop here, but bias is bullish. And if it breaks through this level, next target here is 22,000. So bullish bias for Nikkei as well. All right, so that's all I have. Have a great trading day tomorrow, and I will see you again in the evening. Bye for now.